Good afternoon. Today is Sunday, March 9th, 2025, and this is Engaging Systems, the Purple Pill. As I've stated to you before, the Republicans stand for the red pill, the blue pill is the Democrats, and the purple pill is the new age way of thinking, the truth. Quite frankly, I put some pictures up on my page today. You can look at them at your leisure. I'm going to read to you the statement that I put up by George Washington. If we would agree to take the fezes and turbans off the Moors' heads and remove the sandals from their feet and enforce severe punishments, and to also swear a death oath between ourselves to religiously and faithfully not to allow anyone to teach the Moorish children who they really were or who their forefathers were, and only allow the Moorish children to be taught that they were truly Negroes, black people, and colored folks. 200 years from today, the Moorish people would not know their nationality nor the national name of their forefathers. Also, they would not know from which land or ancestors that they are descended from. That's spectacular. Because I brought that to your attention because I needed you to know that that whole George Washington and the cherry tree was a lie. Yes, ma'ams and sirs, it was a lie. It's an allegory. To be quite frank, Freemasons and some elite secret societies didn't want the Moorish people, Black African Americans, to know the secret relationship that they had, the 13 colonies and the Moroccan Empire. They were trying to keep that under wraps. They didn't want it to be known. Because the nickname for the Moorish national flag was cherry tree. And the reasoning behind that was because the Moorish flag is red and green in color. What, in fact, him chopping down the cherry tree represented was him breaking the treaty of peace and friendship between the American colonists and the Sultan of Morocco, and the enslavement of so-called African human resources and the defeat of the Moors. That's, in fact, what that whole statement that I just read to you was in regards to, and what the whole premise of the cherry tree and chopping it down was in regards to. It's crazy, the lie that had been told. We've been sitting up thinking that basically he was, 6 years old? 6 years old, mind you, chopped down a cherry tree that his father was in love with. His father asked him, "Son, you chopped down the cherry tree?" And he looks at his father and says, "I cannot tell a lie. I, in fact, did chop down this cherry tree," which, in fact, was a lie. And what's crazy about it is that, again, it's been perpetuated all this time as a literal cherry tree, when, in fact, it was a literal culture of people he chopped out of existence. I need you to understand the meaning behind this 200 years. 200 years is how long they claim in turn that it takes for things to be wiped out, forgotten, or changed, or whatever. And to be quite frank, that's exactly how long it is for the zodiac calendar. An age is exactly 200 years. So as I stated to y'all last year, we ushered in the age of Aquarius, which will be in place for 200 years. And after such, we will move on to the next phase. Pisces? No, Pisces, Aquarius. We left the age of Pisces and we just moved into the age of Aquarius. So with that being said, as I stated to you before, we are looking for the man carrying water. Okay, so I had stated the whole cherry tree thing because, as I stated, I want you to be aware. I'm going to ask a question that a young lady asked in her synopsis of what she got from this experiment that I'm about to bring to your attention. I'm going to bring you the question first because the question is very relevant, and I'll bring it again at the end. Is the old belief you are holding on to still relevant? I say that because in 1967, they did a 5 monkeys experiment. In this experiment, they put 5 monkeys in a box, and in the middle of the box, they put a ladder, and at the top rung of the ladder, they put bananas. And each monkey that climbed to the top of the ladder, the ones on the bottom got sprayed by the scientist with ice water. So what in turn happened was, instead of feeling like the bananas was a positive reward, they considered it a negative So what they did was, over time, whatever monkey decided to touch the ladder, the other monkeys would drag them off the ladder and beat them up. So over time, they started to try to switch out the monkeys with new monkeys, and lo and behold, whether it was telepathy, whether it was DNA, all of a sudden, none of the monkeys would touch the ladder, or climb the ladder and do nothing. As in, again, this was a social conditioning experiment. That's crazy. That's crazy. And it went down in 1967. What's crazier is, are we paying attention to what was going on during this time frame? Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, JFK, all of which being taken out and killed by infiltrators, to be quite frank. Folks that they knew. Every one of them. Malcolm X was taken out by his own brotherhood, nation. The nation took him out. Yes, they did. Martin Luther King, quite frankly, if you look at the videotapings, Jesse Jackson was on the platform for the hotel. Jesse Jackson being in Martin Luther King's entourage, why wasn't he wearing a tie, a suit, a jacket? None of that. Why are you up there? On top of that, since when at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Martin Luther King was shot down? When has hotel cleaning been on the floor? Look at the pictures. Speaks volumes. JFK, he was trying to get rid of the mafia, the mob within our government. And what they do, they took him out. So let's be real, let's be honest, and let's be forthcoming in exactly what it is that's going on out here. Folks are being killed to shut up and to not change. And we all know that's the way that they do it. So it doesn't matter. I don't care. And I'm sick and tired of sitting around allowing it any further. I will not. That being said, the experiment was done, and these monkeys would not go back up. Now, it was a social experiment, and their conclusion was the experiment proved to constantly challenge ourselves, question what doesn't always feel right, and to avoid using excuses of, we've always done it this way, to avoid trying new things and branching out. Excuse me. That's, in fact, what they were taught by this experiment. And yet we have still not tried something new. Why are we still trying Republican and Democrat? I, again, urge you to try the purple pill. Try something new. Stop sitting up here allowing them to keep continuing to move you in the way they want you to move. That being said, the young lady from the article that I read, her synopsis of what she got from the 5 monkey experiment. The young lady's name, I will not butcher it, so I'm going to spell it for you. Her first name is Swati. Her last name is Vohra, and she represented at the time the Nucleus Software Company. Her exact quote at the end was, my moral of the story here is that we have got to challenge the status quo, because there's a bunch of delicious bananas at the end that taste like progress and success. Couldn't have said it better myself. Enjoy your week, kings, queens, gods, and goddesses. Chew on that for a minute. Look at my pictures. Read George Washington's statement. Understand where we're at in this current day and age, and recognize November of 2028, we've got a purple pill to definitely usher in. Enjoy your week.